Welcome back to Rock Your Best Vocals. Jim here, professional singer for over 30 years, professional vocal coach for over 20 years. I've had a lot of experience with working with other students and myself, and everything that I share here is stuff that's worked for me and my students. So if you've been having some vocal strain, like your voice is just getting tired from maybe speaking or singing a lot, and possibly even if you're missing notes somewhere through your range, if somewhere in there you're going, it's just kind of stops working somewhere in there, you could have some inflammation on your vocal folds. Now, that can happen from, a cold or a flu, some type of infection that can attack your vocal folds, and it can cause some inflammation there. But today, what we're going to do is an exercise that will help you if you've been having some vocal strain. This is a really relaxing exercise, and it's a semi-occluded vocal tract, or SOVT exercise. There's a lot of them that you could do. You could do lip trills, or there's a lip like an R, or raspberry, or the blowfish. There's so many that you can really choose from, but I find this one particularly helpful because it helps you to not blow too much air, because there's some sort of immediate feedback. And so what it is here is it's a straw in a cup of water. Now, this one has a lid on it, so it's very helpful. So in case you do blow too much, it's not going to spill out over the top. So the idea is to make sure you're trying to blow as little air in there as possible. So what the semi-occluded vocal tract exercise does is it creates a back pressure. So if you're trying to blow a lot of air, like say if you're singing or talking and you're using a lot of air, that will cause your voice to get tired because your vocal folds will smack together a lot if you're using a lot of air. Another thing is if you're not taking a big enough breath before you speak, that can cause a lot of tension as well and make your voice very tired. So if you have muscle tension dysphonia or MTD, one of the main causes of that is speaking with a low level of air. So what we want to do is try to take a position of an inhale when we're doing this, right? And keep the position of an inhale. So keep your ribs spread wide. And when we blow into this, we want to try to blow as little air as possible. So you want to, make the bubbles be as small as possible, almost blow none. Now, what you don't want to do is do this. So you can see there's no bubbles because I'm literally just, it's going all through my nose. So just to check that, you might plug your nose while you're doing this and take that deep breath, position of an inhale. So I'm really trying to blow as little air as possible in that, but I'm trying to go also through my entire range. So the benefit of this is that because you're not blowing a ton of air, it balances the pressure. The back pressure balances the pressure below and above the vocal folds. So that's where you will get a brighter vocal fold closure because you're not blowing a ton of air through them, because that back pressure is holding the air to allow your vocal folds just to close properly as you're doing this. So what you also don't want to do is just blow a ton of air through there. So if you're, you can see that that's just a crazy amount of air. You want to try to blow the minimal amount of air. And just go up and down through your range. And the other key to that is to try to keep your ribs wide as you're doing that. Try to stay in the position of an inhale as you're doing that. So you make sure that you're kind of up at the top of your breath, because if you're down at the very last portion of your breath, it's going to be very difficult to maintain that proper breath support and also to blow any air out in that. So Have fun with that cup exercise and let me know in the comments below how that worked for you. And also you can join me on Patreon or become a member of the channel for some extra content and some extra support from me. And in the meantime, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Rock your best vocals where your best keeps getting better.